Hey everybody, denskil here in denskil Music Labs. Hope you're having a good day. Well, it's the end of 2024, and in fact it's the very last day of 2024. In my last video I promised you one more before the end of the year, so here it is. If you're into fancy guitars, stick around. This is my recap of guitars that I've acquired in 2024. Hey everybody, it's the last day of 2024. We're going to look at the guitars that I acquired this year. I want to give a shout out to my friend John. The point of this episode of Gear Journeys is to kind of talk about what makes a guitar a keeper. We're going to take a quick look at almost all the guitars that I purchased this year. We're not going to get too much into the details and specs, but we will hear some sounds. If this is your first time here, please consider liking and subscribing, especially if you enjoy the content. It costs you nothing and it makes me feel so happy. Now I'll briefly go through each guitar, and then at the end, I'll talk about which guitars I kind of got rid of and what makes these ones keepers. So just a quick word about my signal chain, folks. For each guitar I'm plugging into my pedal board. I'm using a little bit of reverb there, and it's going into my Marshall JTM 45 Blues Breaker 1997 reissue, and from there going straight into Logic. So this first guitar is a Suhr Modern with matching headstock. I love this guitar. I love how it plays and feels. Suhr Moderns are probably amongst my favorite guitars. This is the second one that I've owned, and I have a Suhr Classic. I love Suhr so much that I got, a Suhr guitar tattooed, a Suhr Modern tattooed on my arm many years ago. And I do have a video on my original Suhr Modern. It was made out of koa. But anyways, this guitar plays and sounds great. It's got a floating bridge there that goes up and down. So I think this is called a charcoal finish, and it came with a gig bag. Let's hear some sounds. So yeah, that's my Suhr Modern, a very special guitar to me. Oh, I should just mention that I'm presenting these guitars in the order that I got them this year. This next one does have its own dedicated video. This is a Tom Anderson and a what looks like a Telecaster configuration. I think they call it the TA. It's in distress level 2, meaning relic. Love this guitar. It sounds amazing, plays great. I mean, it's a Tom Anderson, so it's really punchy and a real rock and roll machine. So let's hear some sounds. probably the prettiest guitar that you'll see in my collection, or that I acquired here in this list. And that is this. Ding! This is a custom shop Les Paul special with 3 P90s and a Bigsby in faded flannel. And the back's got a nice grain to it. It's red. So why did I get this guitar? Well, it's just freaking cool as hell. The pickups are wired to a 3-way toggle switch. In the up position, you get the neck. Middle position, you get the middle pickup. And bottom position, you get the bridge. The Bigsby works for some nice, kind of wavery, wobbly vibrato. It does tend to knock the guitar out of tune. Now, the deal with this guitar was that it was, according to the guy I bought it from, it was, and contacting Gibson customer service, this guitar was what they call pre-sold. So it basically means that it never hit stores. It just went right, some dealer bought it privately. But yeah, sure is pretty. Let's hear how it sounds. Okay, next on the list is Fender Custom Shop Telecaster. Custom. It's a Custom Shop Custom. It's got medium relicing, I think. I forget what year reissue this is. I think it's 64. Let's hear how this guy sounds. The next axe on my list that I got in 2024 was, it's actually not here right now. It's a PRS SC245 from 2012. I'll flash a picture of it. Yeah, some of the wiring on it needed some work, so it's getting repaired right now. So instead of top 6, this is a top 5 list right now. The last guitar that I just recently picked up in 2024 is from the mighty John Petrucci, aka John Petrucci from Dream Theater. This is an Ernie Ball JP6 in Bahama Blue or something like that. It's got a piezo system on it, but it's not working right now, so I got to take it in. But yeah, this is a limited edition. The back is black. And yeah, I shout out to my pal Max that I got this off of recently. Let's hear how this bad boy sounds. So there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed that quick tour of my new guitar acquisitions for 2024. Now, I'd like to answer the question that my buddy John raised about what makes these ones keepers. And it comes down to a few things for me personally. One aspect is that these guitars are all kind of unique, and there's a little bit of overlap between them, but not too much. They all cover very different sonic ground. For me personally, I like all kinds of different styles of music, so I need all different kinds of tones. So I need guitars that twang, I need guitars that punch, I need guitars that hit like a velvet hammer. I need a bunch of different guitars. So that's kind of what drives my main madness towards this search. So in the rational sense, that's kind of how I justify, you know, the chase and trading and selling and all the Facebook marketplace hoops and Kijiji hoops I've had to jump through have just been, but it's been worth it. So there's some negative aspects to it, like, you know, buying back guitars that I might have bought before, and you'll see that when I talk about the list of guitars that I got rid of. And there's still the danger of too much overlap. And I mean, that's one of the non-rational reasons for chasing guitars is hero worship, right? One of the reasons I bought a white Les Paul was because I'm such a huge fan of Randy Rhoads, and I have a Sunburst Les Paul because I'm such a fan of Jimmy Page. They are different guitars, but they do that. You know, another silly thing is signature guitars, you know, and my rationale for buying a signature guitar like the John Petrucci is essentially, you know, if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. I don't necessarily want to play the same kind of music or play the same styles or, you know, get the same sounds, but as a platform, there's a lot of great signature guitars out there. Now, if you want to see dedicated videos for any of the guitars that I've featured here, drop me a comment. I'd really like to know which one was your favorite. How was your 2024 in terms of gear acquisition? Were you as crazy as I was? Lastly, I want to thank all my subscribers and viewers for a really cool year. There are some highlights. Hopefully the channel will keep growing next year. So thanks for watching. Now at the end here, I'm just going to talk about the guitars that I got rid of this year. I'll flash some pictures up. If you stayed this long, thanks for watching, folks. Happy New Year. And if you're watching in the future, thanks for tuning in. From denskil Music Labs, this is denskil signing out. Now, in remembrance of their heroism, here is a list of guitar models that were either sold or traded away in support of the cause. Gone in 2024 were one Strandberg Bowden Pliny, one Yamaha Revstar Japanese version, beautiful guitar, my beloved Ibanez Pia, a Dave Friedman Vintage S, a Fender Brent Mason Signature Telecaster with a really cool B-bender in it. There's an Epiphone USA Casino that is on its way out, hopefully soon. Paul Reed Smith McCarty 594 single cut, a Gibson Les Paul R7 gold top, a Charvel Pro Mod DK24 HH with a 2-point trim, a 2018 Gibson Les Paul Classic in Pelham Blue with P90 pickups, a Fender FSR HSS Stratocaster in Daphne Blue, a Cower Daylighter Express Deluxe, another Strandberg, this time a Bowden Prague, an Ernie Ball Musicman Sabre in Gator Green, which I don't have a picture of. And lastly, a Fender Custom Shop HS Telecaster, which I got rid of. So as you can see, I'm trying to downsize a little bit here. Just a bit. Thanks again to John for the idea on the keepers. Peace out, yo.